No matter how cold it is, assholes still gonna drive. That's better. No, if I can't turn my head, like I said, that makes me a liability in these streets. fuck me, right? I mean, right up in the crosswalk. God damn it. What is it with morons, man? I guess they were having an argument or something. Looking like a little anger to warm up the blood. Everybody just talked the whole time. You give up? Yeah, man, I give up. Man, I got here quick. I've been blocking for so long that walking at a normal pace seems fast to me. Another moron. Let's get into the crosswalk. That's why somebody bust out your fucking windshield. Tesla driver. My neighbor said, "Go back home, it's too cold." And I belted out something that it's never too cold to get good exercise. I will be out here unless there's lightning or ice, and I've been known to break those two rules. That's because I was stupid enough to play American football. Like I said, I'm looking for a way to walk on ice. I get those spiked shoes, but they only work on snow. I've got some things you put on your shoes, over your shoes, and it kind of helps. But walking on ice is no fun. I'm sure there's people from the north who do it, and they're just like, yeah, you know, you get good at it. I do the penguin walk, where it's not really you're walking, you're just kind of shuffling. I'm wearing too many layers, but I'm actually okay with that. I love getting good and sweaty, and I so rarely get to do that now that all I do is walk because of my back. I kind of miss jogging. I miss sprinting more. Take 5 from life. Give me some inspiration, Mr. Brubeck. What I must look like to people. Imagine I look like the old Buffalo Soldiers. That was always an interesting piece of black history. Captain Buffalo. Superhero? No, just... I guess if I wrote a comic book character, he wouldn't have any powers. He would just be smart and deductive reasoning. Like Mr. Terrific without the T-orbs. Or the T-spheres. Kid, you gotta stop leaving your gloves out. I hope nobody takes them. There's a lot of that. I know what it was. You know, I was young once. You leave your stuff out there, you're like, where are my gloves at? These days, I mean, even when I was a kid, somebody would steal them. I mean, we always assumed that it was just other kids or just jerks. I don't think we had as big of a homeless problem when I was a kid, because we still had mental health hospitals and there was still public housing. Yeah, the last time I was in a housing project was in Oklahoma. I wasn't living there, I was helping out a friend. And she said, oh, you can stay at the housing project. I was like, I'll come get you in the morning. And I was like, okay. So I stayed at some friend of hers house, or project. Wasn't half bad, you know, it looked like the minimalist Soviet thing. It was for micro countertops and salvageable appliances, and there just wasn't really that many frills. I guess if I ask somebody whatever happened to that housing project in Lawton, Oklahoma, they just tell me long gone, turned into, and whatever they tell me it turned it into, it's just going to piss me off because it's going to be something stupid. An idea for whenever somebody tries to troll me on the comment section, I'll just start responding with the acronym team. I don't know what the bot's going to do at that point, or I don't know what the person's going to do at that point. Damn it, Josh Johnson, the bot. Nope, he did. Turn my head. That's nice. This is that moment where I've sweated enough, and the wind's hitting me just the right way. I'm in thermal equilibrium. It's a weird song. It's called Sabotage by some rapper named Whale, and the guy singing in the background, his name is Lloyd, and Lloyd takes over the song. And this guy's got a raspy voice. I mean, his meter's pretty good, but he just sounds awful. And then Lloyd comes in there sounding like Velvet. I'm trying to find a version where they take Whale out of it. And it's mean, but it's what I want. Uses an Isley Brothers sample. You can't go wrong there. I love how they put those signs out there making you think, hey, maybe you got a shot at this house. That house was bought when they were throwing up when they put the first nail in. But the illusion, you could live here. This could be home. But it can't. I'll never live here. I'll never know a peaceful neighborhood. Howdy.
Hello.
Always the dude with his dog. Never just the dude. Alright, so it's not that cold. Not frozen mud. Turn back, turn back, turn back. The music is reversible, the time is not. What I used to like to do was take, what is it called? Higef faux irif. Fire on high backwards. You play it backwards, and then you play the forward version. Makes it extra long, but it's pretty cool too. I just love the beginning of this. Dun 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 dun. I keep imagining the knight on his steed charging into whatever battle. Alright, turn your head. Nobody's coming. Cars can come from anywhere. And you think to yourself, well, you can see the lights. Sometimes they don't turn on the lights. Head on a swivel. I've been hit by a car a couple of times, but never anything like requiring hospitalization. It's just I got a really good knock. And you start realizing how cold and mechanical the car is. It will not, you are nothing to it. You get dragged across the hood and there's nothing you can do about it, and just hope that the person's paying attention that nudged you. At least when I've been dragged by a large animal, I can feel its skin and heartbeat and kind of let the animal know I'm there. But a car, there's nothing to feel. Keep thinking about when I used to go to Fort Sill during tours, and they let you touch the artillery pieces, all that heavy armor, and you slap that armor, and there's no ring. It's just a dull thud of your hand. It doesn't really, like, the armor itself doesn't really even acknowledge that you hit it. And I'm thinking, you get hit by something like that, no one inside of the vehicle would even know. It's so heavy that you don't offer any normal force to counterbalance the wheels. That first guy that got killed by a mechanical, I say mechanical vehicle, I guess there's no, well, maybe there's organic vehicles, but the man who got killed by the first vehicle, how that must have felt. Was it a train that hit him? Was it a steam car? There's someone's documentary. Yeah, I guess a chariot is technically a organic vehicle. So the first person killed by a mechanical vehicle. What happened? Was it going ultra high speed and it just nudged him and popped him real good and that was the end of him? Was there a skull fracture involved? Heart attack. The first mechanical death. I don't think it was here. Was it in Europe? I remember reading a story about how Winston Churchill got hit by a car. Said he was at fault. I guess that should have been signs that things were going to be going wrong from then on. An MP destined to become a PM gets hit by a car walking in America and he accepts the blame. Maybe Winston Churchill, like I said, it had to have been overwhelming. He's looking around, he's trying to figure out where he needs to cross at. He steps out. Used to being in a place like the UK where it's a horse-drawn carriage and you hear the clack clack on the thing and he just gets pop. Said this is when he was a young man, so it had to be the 1910s, 1920s. Maybe do more research on that one. Has any U.S. president ever been? Has any U.S. president ever been hit by a car? Who was the last U.S. president to own a driver's license and drive a motor vehicle? Can't believe I'm asking that question. I think Joe Biden, yeah, he drives. He can never drive on regular roads ever again. Of course, now I think that's because of his advanced age, not just because he was a former president. I don't know why anybody would want that job. To spend the rest of your life never being able to go out for a walk by yourself. Every time Jimmy Carter wanted to build a house, he had to do it while flanked by Secret Service agents. Every time George Bush goes to a ball game, he has to do it with a crowd of guys in black suits. I never want to be famous because I never want to lose the ability to just go out for a walk by myself. The intimacy of invisibility in the form of anonymity. Even as I walk out in this ridiculous outfit. I'm nobody, so I don't even get a passing look. It's wonderful. Man, I remember one time I came out here walking by this stupid place, and there's sprinklers going, and the entire sidewalk was just a sheet of ice. I had to walk on the grass, slip sliding. So that was no fun for my ankles. What would be a way I could walk on ice? You know, they give you tips for driving with a car. I was even watching bicycle videos, and they recommend studded tires. But I guess pedestrians are just, no, stay home. I keep in mind my ancestors had to constantly walk on ice, mostly with their bare feet. Their bare feet that had become hard and calloused from walking on every surface imaginable. And yet somehow today, all the modern conveniences, you can't give me a way to walk on ice. Maybe one isn't needed. Maybe I need to look to the past. Ice moccasins. Oh man, I think this is that 10-hour Commodore 64 soundtrack. Every Sid song ever made. What possesses a person to park on the street, I wonder? Is it just the convenience? They don't want to have to open their garage door, they hop in the car? So why did you get a good garage? People are pretty stupid. Some of the stuff they do, we're like, I don't know, I know I'm pretty stupid. I'm supposed to be driving everywhere I want to go, or I'm supposed to drive to a park and not be walking the streets. It's too late at night. So many excuses. Here we go. Here's this sob story.
What time might you at?
Huh?
What time might you at?
Hold on a sec. 22:13.
Thank you.
Actually, it's 22:08.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir, do me a quick favor. I was trying to get something from the store. Do you think you might be able to run it for 1 second for me? I got the money right here.
What'd they tell you?
Here, sir.
All right, let's go together.
Sir.
Let's go together. Come on. Let's go up here. Oh, wait a minute. They're closed, aren't they? They close at 10.
Huh?
They close at 10. But you got the 7-Eleven right here. Yeah. Oh, you talking about the 7-Eleven?
Oh, down the street. Yeah, this place here. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Can you run in there for me real quick?
What for?
Right here.
Yeah, but I mean, why am I running in there? Why can't you go in there?
I have my stuff right here. I was just watching it, and I don't have my ID with me, and I know they won't ask you.
I don't have ID either.
They won't ask you, sir. You're much a little older than me. I just wanted one $5 scratch off.
Oh, okay. Well,
Here,
let's go in there. Come on.
No, I know. I don't want him to see me because there would be trouble. That's why I'm asking you, sir. Here.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I want you to come with me.
So there'll be trouble, though. I don't think there'll be trouble.
No, you can stay outside.
All right. One number 25. One number 25.
Hold on. Come on.
I don't want him to see me or there'll be trouble.
What number?
25.
Huh?
One number 25.
Just 25?
Yeah. They get two 25s, yeah.
All right.
$5 each, yes.
He's not allowed to be on the premises. Yeah.
You have a good evening.
You too. Never a dull moment.
Wait.
Walk sign is on across Northwest Highway. Walk sign is on across Northwest Highway.
I keep thinking of, there was an episode of, I think it was The Outer Limits. Yeah, I think it was The Outer Limits, where the guy was so odious, like their civilization was based on being able to fit into the community. And this guy was like a successful businessman, but he was cold and callous and really couldn't connect to people. So the central like government authority sentenced him to be invisible for 1 year. I was talking about invisibility earlier, but there's also that bad side of it. And the way invisibility worked was they put some kind of chip in his they burned it, they put it on his scalp. And when people saw this, they knew that he was to be ignored. And so he walks around the entire year, people just shunning him. And it caused him to break down. And he's just having a hard time of it. For some reason, I just thought of that episode when that just happened. The police are like, he's invisible. Don't interact with him. I thought to myself, I could have preached to him and told him, you know, all sorts of stuff about, well, you need to get your life together and blah, 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 blah. It's not my place. I mean, yeah, technically, I guess it is my place. But in my head, I'm running all sorts of calculations. Maybe that's one New Year's resolution I need to take. to stop being so passive. To start just really being a burr in people's ass. Even if it causes me not to be able to buy lottery tickets at 10 o'clock at night because I'm banned to the store for some reason. And you know what? I just contributed to a problem. Like I said, if he'll come back here again. He'll be waiting for me to come by, and he'll ask me to do something else for him. It's just weird. Like I said, he didn't ask me for money. He had money. There's a game called Always Sometimes Monsters, and in Always Sometimes Monsters you have random encounters just like that. I don't know, like I said, this is not, it is a game. It's just a game where the stakes are super high. I don't know what outcome I changed just now. So that door, I think, is supposed to be closed. There's probably a homeless encampment. Like I said, now that I know what to see, I can't unsee these things. Someone's sleeping under this bridge tonight. It might be that guy. How would this be a drama? That guy wins the lottery. Oh, I guess at least I got it on video for YouTube. The winning lottery ticket was bought by Scruffy Smith at 22:08 on January 6th. Oh, January 7th, right? It's the 7th. And they'd have him in the convenience store, thumbs up. That clerk that I was talking to, yeah, I'm gonna post this and I'm gonna see what kind of hill I catch. And I was about to tell the guy, nah, just don't give it to me. I'll give me the money back. And I was like, yeah, you already committed at this point. But he scanned it so fast. Beep, beep. What that also means is that he looked at me and knew I wasn't a cop. Yeah, everything about that was just weird. He has a yellow tag. That's kind of eerie, isn't it? A yellow tag. Suddenly in my head, the Jew laws of Nazi Germany start coming into mind. They had to wear the yellow Star of David on their clothing. The blessing and curse of invisibility. I didn't know what hard luck story I was going to hear. I was like, excuse me, sir, I'm down on my luck. I need bus fare to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I ain't got no money on me. He says, yeah, they'd asked me for my ID. Even on a night like this, where it's 30 degrees. He might not win that lottery. That's the other irony. There's the good irony, where I guess he'd win the money, maybe change his life or something. And then there's the bad irony, where he wins, but he died of exposure during this week. Okay, I get it now. I think I get it. I don't know. I was talking to somebody from the city, and they were telling me how they're keeping the shelter open in Fair Park. Got food and warm shelter for them, and a lot of the people they still refuse. And I know there's the caveat that some people get beat up at these shelters. I'm going to switch over. You know, the weird irony about that whole situation was, that was a white guy. A white man being treated like a second-class citizen, asking someone who comes from a race of second-class citizens for help. I hope I didn't get that guy. Well, that's the other reason I kind of don't want to post this is, what if I get that 7-Eleven employee in trouble? So I haven't learned how to do it yet, and when I'm editing this stuff in Caden Live, there's got to be a way that I can take the clip, cut the video, leave the audio in, and it would just be like a minute of black screen, but you would hear the dialogue. Nah, just best to cut it all. So yeah, I'll edit that guy out, but what he was telling me was he's not allowed to sell that guy anything because the police put a yellow tag on him for trespassing. So I guess there was an altercation or something. He had raised so much of a fuss that the police had to come in there and tell him, you're banned from this store. The guy says, I can't sell it to him. I said, but can you sell it to me? He said, yeah. And so he just pulled it, scanned the tickets, and then I gave them to the guy, as you see in the rest of the video. But I cut the clerk's footage because I didn't want him to get in trouble. And technically, I'm not supposed to be filming on, I mean, that's private property. Believe me, I know some of the rules. I don't know that it's kind of a mixed bag when it comes to filming, but at any time 7-Eleven could sit there and just pull my video. They could say, hey, you know, he's not authorized to record this. We want you to pull this. I mean, it's not going to hurt me financially or anything to have the video pulled. But at first, this just started because I started this channel because of situations just like that. I tell people stuff happens, and they kind of have this look on their face like they don't believe me. So then I have to show them the video. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I was like, I know, right? Anyway, the whole reason I came down this way, the whole reason I ever come down this way is to check on my work. How are the lights working? Did that, you know, they fixed the sign. Okay, cool. And every single time I come out here, I think, okay, this is the last time I'll have to come back here for a while, and there'll be something else wrong. And I'm like, let me call that in. In that case, it was a police matter, which means when it comes to the police in Dallas, my experiences are they don't get anything done. I'm sure there's 1,000 reasons why that is, but I don't find the police in Dallas particularly helpful. In fact, quite the opposite. I find them very harmful. Harmful because they give the impression to poor people that they give this false hope, like they're going to take care of them, but they don't. Their job is really to just kind of maintain people with a certain bank account amount. The rest of us can just twist in the wind. I get somebody broke into one of my neighbor's house. I got it on film. They called the cops. It took them 90 minutes to come out, and they just kind of took a statement. That was it. Now the guy that had done it, it was weird. He broke into a pawn shop. He was broke into a pawn shop with a knife or something like that. So then they arrested him. His dad bails him out. And then this dude said he heard voices in my neighbor's house, and that's what caused him to kick in the door. So this was enough for him to go right back in. When one of my neighbors originally called it in, they told my neighbor, well, you know, we'll get there when we can. So my neighbor had to say, I feel threatened. And that was when they decided to take 90 minutes to show up. And on Dallas, I'm scared to report things to the cops because I don't know who the good cops and the bad cops are, so I don't say anything to the cops. That's a bad way to be. They say, you know, if you see something, say something. Well, what if I say something that gets back to the bad cop? Then the bad cop's sitting there outing me. So in my neighborhood, we've got this attitude of don't say nothing. There gets to be some things that are just so egregious that even I can't sit there and let it slide. Once again, the police have lost the community's trust. And at that point, they're no longer police. They're just another gang that runs around. They're the biggest gang. A government-mandated gang. So I walk around here wondering which gang is going to do me in. Is it going to be the low-level poor street thugs, or is it going to be the government-enforced ones? You know, all the years I've been walking down here, you think, well, I know that they don't want. Everything about Shorecrest is, this is a spiteful street. I don't understand how these people have all this money and the road never gets paved. And I swear they're doing it on purpose because it's like, well, the road's all shitty. Nobody will drive down here, but that's not the way people work in Dallas. It would almost have to be a dirt road, and nothing stops people from driving in this city. Nothing. The road could be covered in broken glass, and people would ride on it on the rims at 50 miles an hour. I've seen people riding on their rims. Either they don't have the money or they don't have the time to call the tow truck to come get them. And so they just ride around on rims. Driving on a flat tire the whole time going home. Everybody else behind them is just looking at them incredulously. In an earlier video, there's the one where there's like a 3-car caravan of towing some guy with a makeshift rope down the street. They got one lane just blocked off doing that. First world shit, first world problems. Well, no, in the third world you have. What we're talking about is the erosion of the rule of law. We're splitting. It's a slow, gradual split between the world where there's what's written down and enforced, and the opposite. The unwritten, the unenforced. And my journal gets to be kind of a recording of the unwritten, unenforced. Yeah, for some reason, I'm tired. Probably because I'm carrying all this gear. I've got several lithium batteries strapped to my body. Dallas hates pedestrians. I know you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, they're building you this path. I was like, yes, but they aren't done. If this was a car street, they'd have done it within months. This, it just feels like they're just dragging it out, dragging it out. We've been told that they're going to finish this by spring. That's basically 3 months from now. I don't know how true it is. I know that it doesn't look like they're going to build any sidewalk here, which is the middle finger. Like the sidewalk is going to dead end right there. I don't know why. I don't know if it's going to go into the green belt here. I don't know if it's going to go into the green belt, but I know that it looks like there's not going to be anything that connects, that makes sense. Like people from this side can't connect to this side. And that's what happens when your mentality is they're really building that more for recreation than they are for commuting. It's just that it's going to happen to serve that other purpose. Fruits are the answer. Yeah, this is as good as it's gonna get. So they closed the ticket stand, they took care of this. I guess they did. It's good enough, you know, it's 3 feet clearance for disabled folks. No, I got the intro to the completely mixed up, what was it? The completely mental mixed up misadventures of Ed Grimley. It's basically SCTV for kids. So I got exposed to Count Floyd and Ed Grimley, and I can't think if they had any other characters on there. I guess I can turn it up for Trick Daddy dollars. always weird about Ed Grimley is he was a musician. I can't remember if it was a hobby or it was his job, but he only had one job, and that was to hit the triangle. And somehow that got to be tough. Like, life kept getting in the way. He would sit there and he'd turn the record on and he's getting ready to do his part. That was a highlight of one of the cartoons. There was some piece of music that all of it is tied to Ed Grimley being able to hit his triangle at just the right at the crescendo. I just realized who that was. That's Mental Episode Man. I think he was sitting over here. Man, he gets around. Ah, Snoop's been busy. Does that say trash or crash? I think it says trash. Maybe it says mash.
Wait to cross Northwest Highway at Marsh.
People sleeping out here tonight. All right. No, the offer was made. I forget it's cold until I stand still. Liquid water. Is this going to be a problem? You know business. Man, I love that. Super Castlevania 4. Map. It's called Map B. It's the weirdest little. It's about 15 seconds, I think. It's this weird little fugue. Really rapid counterpoint, and then the scale climbs. I like it because it's a musician who was a programmer who had knowledge of recursion and mixed it. I just think that's neat as a math nerd. Recursion in music. Fuck that stop sign. The unwritten rules. And it doesn't make sense at 10:30 at night, but it's just one of those things where you never know who's coming. So if you make it a habit of ditching through stop signs, one day someone's going to be coming. You won't see them because you didn't check properly like you're supposed to. That's the accident. That's the problem. Bad habits. Really, the problem is this whole section is just designed badly. It somehow has the distinction of being able to piss off everybody. Uh-oh. What do you think happened? Well, it's not like I think Musical.let just crashed. It do that sometime. That's alright, I was just talking over the music anyway. I guess I'll just be talking to myself while listening to these assholes drive up and down the street. Trick Daddy Dollars. Oh, they cleaned up over here. I always wonder if I should just, yeah, I'm gonna move this. Why now? It's one of those things that's been bugging me for the longest time. Video game that I used to watch at the arcades. It was too cheap to ever play video games, arcade games. What was it called? Too Crude, Too Rude, or something like that. The guys are walking around. They're like punk rocker vigilantes or something, and they're walking through like this post-apocalyptic hellscape, and they're fighting these mutants. And the thing about the game, I think it was a Data East game, and the thing about the game that always struck me was one of the first games where the environment was mostly destructible. You could pick up damaged cars and throw them. You could rip signposts out of the ground and beat the mutants with them. Every time I see one of those poles like that, I keep thinking about that game. Anyway, what was that? That was a sign from the old bus stops. It's just little things that bother me. The city of Dallas had something to do, and then although in this case I guess that was DART. DART did a half-assed job. They just left that sign there and never bothered to pick it up, and it's been sitting there for years. Or like that bus stop that sits over there with the bricks, just people are picking away at the bricks. Or that telephone booth that I just passed. It's been sitting there for 30 years. Whatever telecom owned that, just left it there. And that, I guess what I'm saying is that's my problem with it. When everybody thinks that the private sector is the answer to all of our problems. And they don't have the discipline to finish what they start. This right here, I don't even know if this is being useful for anything. The box was sitting open for years. I mean, yeah, for years. The way they cut out these curbs, I mean these sidewalks, it's not even. One time I got my foot caught in there. I was like, boy, somebody comes by on a bike or a walker or wheelchair. And by the way, if I'm complaining about something, chances are I've already said something about it to someone. I've already put in my reports. So that's why I complain about it. Anyway, a very interesting walk. I miss the days when they were boring.